Hello, hello. I'm excited to do this video. I've been sitting down writing my non-scale victories, and also I want to just talk about high-fat carnivore as well and I'm not weighing, right? So it's been really good for me just as an exercise. Like, I've noticed some things along the way. I'm day 58 today. But it's another thing to write them all down, right? To write down and actually see it with your eyes. Then, as I say it, I'm hearing it with my ears. So that's as well as thinking it in my mind. And I say all that because these are very important parts of the emotional journey and the psychological journey, the mental journey that we go on when we do something like this, a challenge like this. Because it is a lot of effort that I'm investing that into myself, right? So, non-scale victories in 58 days. How's high-fat carnivore going? And when should I weigh myself? This is the question. When should I weigh myself? Oh, let me just... Cheers to you. That is my bulletproof with some cream. It's the brand Bulletproof. It's not a bulletproof coffee. It is the brand coffee that comes from Bulletproof. And this is the decaf, I think. I've been refilling my own coffee pods for the Nespresso machine. I love it. All right. I suppose the most visual thing I could tell you is I had a pair of pants I had to throw away. Now, I want to tell you, I got emotional. When I took them off, I was wearing them and I'd been wearing them and I'd been hiking them up and tucking them under my boobs, right? Just the waist, because I kept having to pull up down near my ankles so I didn't trip on them. And I realized that I must have shrunk because they get longer. And I've noticed that over the years with all my pants, when I put weight on, the legs get shorter, and when I lose weight, they get longer. Now, I was doing this for a while, and I have another pair. Actually, it's interesting. I have not worn these. I've got two pairs that I've been hiking up, and that second pair, I have not worn that for the last week or two. I don't know if that's just a subconscious thing. That's interesting now that I'm saying this. So I suppose I probably let them go about 2 weeks ago. And prior to that, I just sort of got fed up with pulling them up all the time and a little bit afraid I'm going to trip on them and fall over, right? And I'm big, so I don't want to be falling over. So that was sort of like the turning point for me. I was in the bathroom sitting on the toilet. There you go. How's that? And I was thinking to myself, I can't keep tripping over. I can't keep pulling up these pants. Thinking about tripping. So I took them off. I folded them up. I held them closely. And I did Marie Kondo. And I got quite emotional because I said thank you to these pants that I've had. And at my size, it's not easy to find clothes. And I've had these pants for at least 10 years. At least. And I don't know. Listen to me. I can't even understand. Anyway, I just said a deep and grateful thank you. And then I put them in the bin. And I'm someone who is very sentimental. So I love Marie Kondo's show when it came out. Really helped me, gave me a tool and a strategy to be able to let stuff go easily. And that is by saying thank you so much, and goodbye. So I did that, and that's huge for me. I mean, that's huge. Like, these pants, I've held onto them through thick and thin, through weight increases and weight decreases over the years. And they've always served me well. I think these pants I even took to New York and to the US when I went over there. We were away nearly a month, my daughter and I. I had a life coaching conference over in Texas. But Emma, my daughter, she wanted to go to New York. So we did the rounds. We went to LA, Texas, Austin, inland for the conference. And then we spent over a week, I think it was, in New York. Wow, what a city. Loved it. And anyway, these pants went there with me. So I've said goodbye. They don't fit me anymore. That's awesome. All right. Going off of pants for a moment. Number 2. And again, these are such private things. You know, it's bizarre sharing them. I have lipedema. So my legs they hold a lot of weight. I've got under my knees, on both knees, I've got a fat pocket, which is quite significant. And so it does make, it's where some of my pain comes from. It does make walking difficult for me. And it has really, in the last couple of years, my mobility has decreased quite a lot. And hence even the reason why I decided to have VSG surgery prior. So we're going back 5 years now, because it's been 3 years since I had the surgery. And yes, I didn't quite lose 20 kilos. I haven't really told this story, but I put back on, I don't know, 7 or 8 kilos. I need to work out the numbers, but anyway, so lifting my legs, I say all that to say this, lifting my legs is very hard. Like, it has been very hard for me because I carry a lot of weight there. And it's not just around, it's all of my legs. They're very sore, very tender. There's quite a lot of pain in that space. But my non-scale victory is, I've noticed, even in the last few days, I've noticed that lifting my legs, each leg, like when I'm getting dressed and different things, it's not as hard. And that's as much as I could sort of quantify right now. But still, that for me is amazing. Like realizing that, oh wow, I've got something that's irritating me. Sorry. And I won't be able to keep editing all this out. So I'm just letting you know. I'm so sorry. Anyway, lifting my legs isn't as hard anymore. I'm looking forward to it getting a lot better. But that is a significant non-scale victory for me. Another one is over the weekend, I've made several batches of what I'm now calling whole egg bread, because I've morphed it. It's not egg white bread anymore. It's now whole egg bread, because I'm adding fat, a significant amount of fat into it. I was in the kitchen both days for about 3 hours because I was videoing as I was making. So it makes the whole process a lot longer. And yes, I do have a chair in the kitchen, and I do sit down in between certain things because there's no way in the last few years I could stand that long. And I do have a lot of pain after making food in the kitchen, and that's just something I have to manage. But there's no way I could have made, especially back-to-back days, 2 days in a row. There's no way. Normally I have to have a break of a couple of days before I do anything significant like that. So that was realizing that, and even being able to do that, and even the recovery now, and now that I'm actually talking about it, the recovery yesterday I didn't even consider yesterday as a recovery day. Well, that's a miracle when I think about it. And even the day after, I don't even remember thinking I need a recovery day. Now that's unheard of for me. I plan my week and I schedule my stuff so that I'm not doing back to back, because I can't function well. I don't function well. Then let's just talk about clothes again. Then there's a top, and I actually took a full body shot way back, which I will find that photo and put it here. Now that's an orange top. And I bought that, loved it, because I wear a lot of black. So even my daughter, she's like, Mum, get some colour. So I try every now and again to get some colour clothes. But I love black, you know, for all the reasons. And I bought that top and I loved it. It has a little tassel, which I love. I love clangy, bangy things, you know, like charm bracelets and all the things that make all the noises. So I love all the texture stuff. But I've had that top a couple of years. I had to stop wearing it because I couldn't get it to sit on my tummy straight. It would be too tight across the top, like it would pull on where the buttons are, and then I couldn't get it like properly to sit over my stomach. So I'd stopped wearing it. And I don't know why I even took it out back a while ago now. I was probably a few weeks in to this on the Carnivore. And it was like, okay, it's not pulling across my chest, and it's not even connected to my stomach at all. Wow, that was a non-scale victory. That was my first non-scale victory that I noticed, and that was 2 or 3 weeks in, I think it was. I'd have to go back and check. But this top that I've got on right now, I may take a full body shot and show you. That probably is a good idea for me, even though I don't like that. I don't like full body shots, I'll be honest. I don't love photos of myself. But anyway, I've had this top for many years, and I've stopped wearing it because it comes down long at the sides, and it comes up at the top. Has a good shape to it. When you're sort of trying to fake all the angles, you know, for me, at my size, clothes with alternative shapes are useful. Anyway, I'd stopped wearing it because it's cotton and it would just stick on my stomach. And especially when it's newly washed, it's not stretched, like it isn't, it's back to, shape, and then you wear it and it gets a little bit of give in it, you know. I just washed it like last week or whatever, and it was just sitting on my pile. And so I put it on, and it just goes over me. And I'm wearing pants that have got a ribbed texture, and normally these pants, I'd stopped wearing them for a while too, because they add so much size all the way around me because they're ribbed and they stick out. They're not smooth and straight down. And also they're sort of like velvet, so everything sticks to them and sticks out more. And so I would only wear them at home, these pants or whatever. I wore them out the other day. There's another non-scale victory because, and I wasn't even self-conscious, right? I wouldn't wear them out because I'd be constantly thinking about them. And they're not as long, so they pull up. And I've got, because of the lipedema, my ankles are not great. So I hide my ankles all the time. So look at all these secrets I'm telling you. All the things. So I'm actually wearing my fluffy ribbed velvet pants and this top, and I don't feel big in it. I don't feel like I shouldn't be wearing it, like, you know. That's an incredible non-scale victory. But I think what really made me excited this morning was I thought to myself, and when I put this on, and I put the velvet pants on and this on, I went, oh, I need to go shopping in my wardrobe. What else is going to fit me? I've got clothes that span for about 40 kilos of weight loss. From where I was when I started, I won't say here because I don't know where I am right now, but from where I was, way down to 150 kilos. So from 180 down to 150, so 30 kilos, sorry. I've got clothes to fit me in all of those ranges. And so it's only when I get beyond or below that I will need to go and buy some clothes. And I will know. So that was the other thing, trying to work out when I should weigh myself. I was thinking, I wonder if I should wait until more of my pants aren't fitting me anymore. and are just too loose, because then I'll know I will have lost a significant amount of weight. And the main reason I'm not weighing myself is because I put so much into this every day, and I'm so focused. The distraction of not losing, like if I've only lost 5 kilos and I'm 58 days in, that will mess with my head, something chronic for days. And I may end up just going and eating something, cheating. I haven't cheated once. I may end up going and doing something like that. And I don't want to sabotage myself. That's the reason why I haven't weighed myself yet. And I think to myself, I could just go and weigh. No one would know. But it's in here, right? It's in here. I'll know. Behind closed doors, I know all the things, right? I know. And so I was thinking to myself, last few days I've been thinking, what would be an undeniable marker for me? How am I going for time? I do love to talk. What would be an undeniable marker for me? And it would be like these pants I've got on right now. They're velvet ribbed pants, right? They're the bulkiest pair of pants. I've got 2 of them the same. The bulkiest pair of pants that I own. And there were times when I have stopped wearing these over the last few years because the elastic's really tight, and sometimes it's so tight, so uncomfortable because, I've bloated, inflamed, grown, whatever. But at the moment, I'm not even feeling the pinch around my waist, like the elastic, because I've noticed as I've worn them at different sizes over the last few years, they're very uncomfortable when I'm bigger. Now, I'm not feeling that at all. I'm not even thinking I've got them on, which, I don't know if you can understand what I mean by that, but when I would wear these, I would just be uncomfortable, but they're just part of the pants I've got in my drawers. So anyway, that was my other thing. Do I wait until like a pair of pants like these are getting too big? Is that when I weigh myself? I don't know if you've got any thoughts. When do you think I should weigh myself? My original challenge is 90 days with Emma. We've already talked about going longer. I do think 100 days is a nice sort of hallmark. What do you call it? Like a marking point. I can't think of the word right now. Anyway, it's a question. I'm still thinking about it. I'm only on day 58, so that's okay. I've got time. I'm excited to go shopping my wardrobe, and I suppose just to round out this non-scale victory report, my sleep is at an average of 8 hours. I think last night I had 8.5, and I did nod off for a couple of hours yesterday. So do we add that when we're counting our sleep? Do we add that on? But I'm getting 8 hours sleep in a row. Like if you've watched my other vlogs, 4 to 6 hours sleep a night I was averaging before. So that's very good for me. My mood is excellent, stable, even, all the time now, all the time. And, it's hard sometimes to remember what it was like. You've got to think back and maybe compare situations to see what your mood was like. But, wow, my mood is stable and great. I'm not thinking about food all the time. That's another one. That's massive for me. I will say this. When I haven't had, in a day, when I haven't had enough fat and I haven't had beef, I notice after a day or two, my mind starts wandering. So if I'm having, I've been having beef most days, but on the odd day, I had squid, and if I have 1 or 2 meals of squid, and so that day I've not had beef, then the next day I started thinking about food. Interesting, not having beef. And now that I've started this high fat, and let me just talk about high fat to sort of finish off the video. Now that I've started having high fat, I'm noticing the days when my fat is lower, because what am I noticing? I start thinking about food more. I'm not feeling as satisfied and satiated. Am I noticing energy levels? Yes, I think I am. This is why I do check-ins, so that I have to think about these things, because otherwise I'll just carry on and not think about them. So I'm just thinking about it as I'm talking about it. And yes, some days my energy is super low. Now, I have been having coffee the whole time. The last few weeks, I haven't had coffee every day, and I know myself well enough to know I'm sort of moving towards decreasing my coffee. And yes, I've absolutely used it as scaffolding to get here. I knew I was doing it. I did it intentionally because I know myself that will help me, because coffee it's a diuretic, but it also is an appetite suppressant. And not knowing how I would be and all the things, I thought I'll just use it. Why not? It's working for me. But high fat, I suppose. So all my non-scale victories are there. It makes me happy just to be able to sit here and talk about those things and to actually have those results. High fat is great. I'm not going to change anytime soon. My goal this month in April is to do 150 grams a day. So I did 100 grams a day for most of March. I think I started in about a third or a quarter into March. So for 2 or 3 weeks, I've been doing 100 grams a day. Now, I've hit more than that. I've shared my fat grams on every vlog that I've done. And some days I've done 200 grams, 190, 170, 100, 150, right? And I've noticed as I've been making a note, it's been great for me, because then the couple of days after that, I can see the effect of the amount of fat I've had that day. So, and there is a difference. When it's significant, within about 50 grams, so there's a difference between a 100 gram fat day and a 200 gram fat day for me. I feel that difference. There's a difference even between 150 grams and a 200 gram fat day. What I'm interested to see now, I'm going to try and target 150. It's been all over the place, so I don't know how successful I'll be, and that's okay. But I'm going to try and go for 150. Also in March, I did not add it up as I was going along, but what happens, again, one of the benefits of doing this vlogging is that my brain is learning numbers, amounts of fats from the different things I've eaten. I know that 100 grams of a porterhouse steak is 16 grams of fat. So if I'm having a 200 gram steak, and I can mostly eat that, 150 grams I can eat, 100 definitely, 150 gram steak I can eat without too much else on my plate. So that's 16 plus 8, so 22, or is it 24? 24 grams of fat. So I'm already learning those things. I already know my 250 gram packet of fat trimmings already gives me 50 to 60 grams of fat. Okay, we could just round it down to 50 at this point. Yeah, and I pour off also the tallow from that and pop it in my tallow jar. So I'm getting, more, and I get a lot of collagen and connective tissue and all the good vitamins and minerals that are in that as well. More fat-soluble minerals and stuff. So anyway, high-fat carnivore is amazing. I am going to research TUDCA, TUDCA. I started doing some research on that because I take milk thistle. And when you're dealing with extra fat, your liver is processing all of that. So my liver is working hard processing all of that. And I was diagnosed with NAFLD years and years ago. Haven't had recent bloods. I will get those done. I am going to go and see a carnivore doctor in Perth, and I'm going to get a panel of bloods tests done, and I'll share those online as well here in the vlog. But TUDCA is something that's just come to my attention, also helping with bile and bile salts, because I have no gallbladder. Gosh, I'm going to put a list up one day of all the things as I'm coming to terms with sharing it all with y'all. So I will, it looks good, but then I came across something that said it's not TGA approved, or it's not approved here in Australia. So I need to also do some more research about that. But it does look like a helpful supplement. I do like supplements. I'd rather take supplements that are natural than medications that are not, unless, of course, you need them. So Nothing wrong with medication. So that's me. That is my non-scale victories and some chat around high fat, which I'm loving, absolutely loving high fat carnivore right now. I really think, this is just me now, I'm not a doctor or a nutritionist. I've done a lot of research and study over the years, but I really feel, it feels like the high fat has a lot of vitamins, probably more vitamins and minerals, I want to say, and I don't know why I want to say that, but I do, that are helping my endocrine system. And I've felt for several years now that my endocrine system is the key to fat loss for me. So anyway, I could be wrong. I could be right. I'm going to continue down experimenting with myself because that's what I've got. That's what I can do, right? That's what I can control. I can't control other stuff. So how are you? Tell me, have you got a non-scale victory you could share with me? And do you have any idea of what is your thoughts about when I should weigh myself? Especially for you guys that have been chatting to me, and, you know, I really appreciate, I do feel encouraged when I when I get some chat from you guys. And I thank you for that. I appreciate it. And tell me your name, because I think you're girls, but you could be boys, and I don't know, and I just don't want to say he, she, and all that. So if you want to tell me your name, I'd love that too. Just your first name. Okay, so my non-scale victories are going well. I am thinking about when I want to weigh myself. I'm loving high-fat carnivore. My new goal is 150 grams a day for April. Before, in May, I go to 200 grams a day, which I don't know if that's going to be the right number for me. I may go to 175, 180 first for May, maybe, because I don't want to freak out my body. I don't want to end up in emergency, because I don't want to go and make the story even longer, but oh my gosh, I'm nearly at half an hour. I'm going to have to edit this. I ended up in emergency a few times doing a few different protocols. So I want to avoid that. But anyway, a story for another day. I will go, and please say hi, and I hope you're doing well. I hope you're really doing well. All right, sending you love. Bye.